Thanks, Rich. You did a great job. So the story of the 88 team, it's hard to say that it started in 88. And to kind of elaborate on Callahan, well, I played a couple sports for Coach too. So I got the double dose, so. Yeah, and I guess we were like a badge of honor because to play for him and to do it and to come out alive and successful. Wow, how about that? That's just the cherry on top. But anyway, so it started with me. It's at the LHS auditorium, and I don't even remember the principal or the administrators, but I remember our coaches. I don't know what that tells you. But anyway, at the end of the freshman inauguration or orientation, they said, anyone wants to play soccer, come on down and meet Coach Johnson. So sure, I was too scrawny to play football. I'm like, let's give the soccer thing a try. So I go down there and I see Coach Johnson, this nice small guy, he's very gentle, and he's like, thanks so much for coming down, and we had like 5 of us. Thanks for coming down and showing interest in soccer. Just come Monday and bring your running shoes and you'll be fine, and we'll have a good time. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. We're just gonna go play kickball and have a good time. And I get onto that field, and oh my God, I didn't know what happened. Because freshmen, juniors, sophomores played with the seniors and juniors, and I didn't know what zone I had entered. I see this guy yelling at people, Butler, Green, take 2, Joey Solanese, just going bananas on people, going absolutely berserk on people. And I'm playing a sport I don't know how to play, and I literally, John Sampson and I, we went out at the same time, and we had to crawl home from practice. Literally, we couldn't walk home. So that's how I met Coach Johnson, and that's how the story kind of starts. Because you can't tell these stories without talking about Coach Johnson. He's at the heart of all of this. So soccer auditorium, and then of course Cal touched on it a little bit. It starts with the JV program with Coach Don Frieda. I mean, there seems to be a collective belief that Coach Don Frieda taught baseball really well, and he was the one teaching the fundamentals and teaching us how to steal, how to lead, how not to get picked off, all those good things. And he groomed us, and he taught us so well that by the time we got to Coach, that if we didn't do it well, Coach would hammer us. So Coach Frieda was the teacher, and Coach Johnson was the disciplinarian. And so thanks, Coach Frieda, for setting us all up for success. And then I got to touch on the 87 team just a little bit, because that might have been the best team of all, 86, 87, 88. I mean, we were fantastic. Jim DePerry and Charpentier, and the Evil Empire, Ed Riley. We ran into Ed Riley, and who doesn't remember this? Hey, Emile, Eddie's gonna get you today. Hey, Emile, the heat's on. I know, Mr. Riley, I know. Eddie's gonna get us, I know. But it was all part of the script. It was all fantastic until we lost. But it was something. He got the best of us. So that leads us to the beginning of our senior year baseball of the spring. And Steve reminds me, Santucci reminds me of this story. We're outside, it's snowing, and God forbid, we're bitching. We don't like playing in the snow. We don't like playing baseball in the snow. Coach doesn't want to hear that. He pulls our butts right off the field. He makes us watch the JV team and says, that's how you play. Then he turns at us and says, you're the worst team I've ever had. But that was his way. That's how he did things. He made you second guess yourself in a good way. He got you prepared and made sure that you brought your best to the field. Absolutely. So anyway, he says to Jeff. Meanwhile, Jeff in 87, had 4 hits off Riley that game. And as you know, Jeff, probably the best catcher in Leominster history, just absolutely phenomenal. In Callahan, I realized that from the '86 game when I watched on that hill, when you threw like 40 pitches in the dirt and worked Jeff all over the place. But you guys don't win without him. There's no question about it. But anyway, Jeff's a great catcher, right? And Jeff, in the early on of the St. Peter Marion game, throws the ball over the third baseman's head. Guy's trying to steal. They score a run. So the coach's way to motivate on the first practice or more, something like first, second practice, goes up to Jeff. Hey, Jeff, try not to lose us the state championship. Do you think that didn't light a fire under Jeff's butt? It did. Jeff, I don't know, had like 5 home runs, 400, 30-something RBIs. He's fantastic as always. But just like any other season, any other sport, he'd start off the season and he'd rattle, and anyone who played for him with any sport understood this. He'd rattle through the whole schedule, and he just, by the end of it, you thought, wow, we might not win 1 game this year. We started off against St. Peter Marion and Wachusett, that bench breaker. We got backs against the walls against St. Marion's, and we got Holy Name, and we got Riley, and the Fitchburgs of the St. Peter Marion. And he would mess up all the names of all the teams. And you guys can all relate to that. And as a freshman in soccer, I thought it was kind of funny when you go off on these tangents. But as you become a junior and senior, you're like, oh man, I'm getting another year, gonna get my ass kicked by Coach Johnson. But he'd go through the whole schedule. But the method of the madness, looking back, was, okay, I think, I can't speak for you, Coach, but it seems something like this. You guys think you're good, but you're not as good as you think you are. And you better get your mind in the game, because if you're not, you're gonna lose. So you better get prepared. And that's what he did with everything he did. Every tactic he used was kind of like that. And so the season started, and yeah, we did everything fine. We didn't even hit a slump, I don't think. We kind of just played well, and we needed pitching. We didn't have pitching. Santucci and Collette were phenomenal. They did great, and our hitting was great, and we made it to the playoffs. And it was beach week, and Coach always said, we only go as far as our seniors take us, right? And that's right. And so, and if you put proms and beaches and beach weeks and trips in front of that, you're gonna lose. So what do we and Greg do? We go up to beach week. And of course, God bless his soul, Kenny Stevens. He was there. What was Kenny Stevens doing at beach week anyway? Economics teacher, hanging out with kids. He ratted on us to Coach Johnson. Did Coach take it out on me so much? No. But he had a place in his heart for Greg, of course. but yeah, and at that point though, I thought to myself, we better bring it. Well, Greg, we better not screw up, guys. We just got lost going to beach week. We got to bring it. Maybe it happened for a reason. First game against Doherty. Well, we didn't bring it as a team. We had sloppy defense. I had a pretty decent game, thank God, and even Coach was like, if our shortstop doesn't come to play, we're done. We're out of the season. But I had a decent game. But boy, we weren't so good. But after that, we steamrolled. 4-1 against Wachusett, 28-5 against Shrewsbury. And then I don't know. We went to the state championship and won 7-2 against Barnstable, and we outscored everybody by 60-17. We just dominated. I mean, we pitched well, we hit well, and we fielded. It was simple as that. But really, like as Callahan said, I guess my personal stories out of that whole state run it wasn't about getting a hit for Coach or getting a hit for the team or making a great play. There was 2 things that I remember for playing for Coach Johnson that he loved. I remember one time I missed batting practice against Wachusett, and Coach says to me, he's like, because I couldn't find my uniform. My uniform was jammed in my locker. I couldn't get it open, and Coach says, I missed batting practice. I get to the bus, Coach goes, "You think you're too good for batting practice, huh? You think it? Well, you better get 2 hits today." I got 2 hits today. But that's not even the thing that I remember. And this is something Coach would love, and this is what I remember. We're up by 1 run, and we need an insurance run. Throw to first base, and the ball was bobbled, and I didn't break stride. And I wasn't a fast runner at all, but I didn't break stride, and I ran home. He gave us that extra run. It was a heads-up play. It was a mentally sharp play that Coach liked. And I slide in the home plate, and Coach is over home plate. He's yelling, and I'm like, "Whoa, what did I do wrong?" But he was excited that I made a heads-up play. That's what I remember for playing for Coach Johnson. And one other time, it was 0-2, bases loaded against St. John's, against Charlie Darling. You remember him? Ron Darling's brother. And he pitched an inside pitch to me, a hanging curve, and it didn't curve, and I stayed in on it, and I got hit. I mean, did I get hit on purpose? "Hey guys, did I hit you?" No, it hit me. It definitely hit me, and it scored a run. I was 0-2. Coach thought I leaned into the pitch. I didn't back away from it, but Coach loved it. That was a Coach play, and I remember that. But we're all better for playing for Coach Johnson. And as all the newspaper articles say, and everyone who knows Coach Johnson and writes about him or talks about him, you know, they say about Coach is tough, but life is tough. Life is really tough, and there's no doubt about it. I probably couldn't have gotten through some things in my life if I hadn't played for you and understood how much I could take and how much it took to be successful, and never say die, and never let anyone tell you that you can't do something, that type of thing. And that's what Coach Johnson did. I mean, if you could play for Coach Johnson, you could do just about anything. There's no question about it. But anyway, let me talk about the team real quick. I mean, Santucci was fantastic, one of the best pitchers of all time. Our first baseman, Scotty Ray Harris. Oh my God. Coach didn't know what to do with him. Hey Coach, hey Scotty, I understand you party a little bit. Is that true? Sometimes. He didn't know what to do with him, but Scotty was one of the best players ever. We were all talking about Scotty recently, tremendous. Greg Mason, awesome second baseman, just fantastic. Third baseman, Tommy Mason, he had seemed like 700 hits that year. Every time he was on base, he was incredible. Jeff, best catcher in LHS history. That's all you have to say about that. Right fielder, Rusty, should have played soccer, but but what an athlete, as Emile, as Coach would say, best thing since sliced bread. You were awesome. Pacusi, what a man-child he was. I mean, he was a man among boys. My story about Pacusi was, you know, Brian was so intense. He was so funny, such an intense guy. And I remember hitting one off the fence, and Pacusi, at the end of the inning, I didn't know it was close to a home run. I said, "Brian," he said to me, "Hey, Buka, you almost hit that over the fence." I'm like, "Really? I didn't even know it was close to being a home run." He goes, "What do you think of mine?" And he just laid into me like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. I didn't mean to piss you off." but to know that I say that with love, Brian, that was Brian, and that's why I love Brian. I wish he was here. Chuck DiFilippo, what a solid player. Dan Scanlon, backup infielder, awesome. Jeff Gilbert, the same. Keith Collette, fantastic lefty. The Colon brothers just did what it took. Tony Richards, our manager, who suited up the equipment as well and got beat on by the pitching machine. But I wish he was here. Boissonneau, great that he's here. Awesome player. And but anyway, congratulations to the 86 team. And the 96 team, and Coach Johnson, congratulations. And congratulations to the best team, the 88 team. These guys were on 86 and 88, so